Hello everyone. Today we are going to see some basic function that we use in Python. So that is our math functions. So we will have basic understanding where and how we use and what is the meaning of those functions and how we should use that. So before we start, as we are going to do some math function, so before that you need to create one file. So you can go to this file section and go click new. Then you can click Python file because we are using Python here. And PyCharm is the IDE that we are using. So you have to create that your own file. You can go that file new and Python file you click. Whenever you create a file, just type that file name along with .py name. So it's Python. Okay, so let's say I hope you have this file ready, and this you can see the directory where we are working here. So this is the directory where we are working. And now so you can do some basic math in Python just like that. Let's say you want to print some addition. 4 plus 5 is 9, right? So you can do these basic function. I mean, these are not basically function, they are basically mathematics that you do, simple math. Okay, plus minus, you know, let's say if you want to do if you want to do print 4 3 minus 2, right? So it should give what, 1, right? So these things you can do without importing a math library. So before we start for math function, we should import that particular library. Okay, so how we can install the different libraries? So I can just tell you, go to PyCharm and go to preference section over here. Once you click it, you have project interpreter. In that, at the bottom you can see this plus mark and the install is coming. You can click that plus mark and you can import different libraries. Kind of, you can install different libraries, for example pandas. Okay, different libraries are here, pandas here, many other, matplotlib. Okay, this you used to plot used to visualize the mathematical data, in chart form, in figure form, so that you can understand what is going on with respect to something, right? So to plot those functions, we need to use matplotlib library. Okay, we can have this in more about matplotlib in second video, where we'll talk about how to import CSV, Excel files, how to choose columns and then plot them at X and Y axis, how to choose colors, and how to choose different design, that we'll talk later. So once you install different libraries here, you can go and click OK. So now I'm going to import math function. So my function is imported now. So there are many basic functions. You can go to Python document, math document function and you can see there are many functions. So today we will understand the meaning of each function. Okay, I will take few of them which are important, and later we can see we need to do more functions. There are different trigonometric functions, cosine, sines are there. Okay, so some like math.py is there, basic function is there. So today I'm going to show some functions which you may find difficulty to understand. Okay, so let's say I say math dot ceil. Okay, so that's called the ceiling. Okay, math dot ceiling 2.1. Okay, so let me give some name to this, x. Okay, so x is equal to math dot ceil 2.1. So ceil is ceiling. Okay, so you have number 2.1, right? So if I say print x, So what it will print? It will seal this. Sealing is that kind of you can say on the top, right? So 2.1, the top number is 2 3. Hmm? Okay, if I type here 1.1, okay, what is the seal where it is going to a complete is 2. Okay, so this should not be any. So if you have any decimal point like 1.1, 1.2, it will set that seal to 2. 2 is the highest one. Okay, if you type 2.1, it will seal to 3. Okay, complete number. So let's say if you want to print this 1.1, it will be 2, right? As you can see here in the output, it is 2. So if you go for 2.1, the ceiling will be 3. Okay, you can see 3 like that. Okay, let's say if you type 0.7, now you can understand the ceiling will be at 1, complete will be 1. Okay, so that's the basic meaning. If let's say you have different numbers in your column, right? And you have decimal, let's say 7.9, and 7.98, you have 7.6, and you want to seal all this to 8. Okay, so you can use this function math.seal, and you can give that column name, so it will, kind of turn all these numbers to that complete. There will be no decimal point. Hmm? So you can even have, let's say, 10.1. What would be 11, right? So this is the ceiling function. Now let's go to another function. You have, let's say, I want to do floor. That is just opposite of seal function. Okay, floor. I want to do 1.2. Now floor, you can say the ground. Hmm? So ceiling means high and floor means ground. So you have anything in between. If you use the seal function, it will take it to up. Like if you have, for example, 10.1, it will take it to up to 11. And if you have 1.2, it will take it to the ground. That would be 1, right? So if you take the output of this, it's 1. So that will the floor, it's a ground. So like that you can understand. Something hanging in between, and if you give a function that I want ceiling of it, it will seal, it will cap it to that max number like 10.1 to 11. Okay, if you give 11.5, it will tap it to 12. For floor, it will blow. It will take it to down like 1.2, it will take it to 1. Let's say if you want to do 10.2, it will take it to 10. Hmm? So this is the floor function here. Okay. Now, third one, let's say you want to know you have some negative number, and for example, I'm giving this math, okay, he and sorry for typo, I'm giving math, and here you can see, these functions are coming. So third one is here you can see f absolute, fabs, and if I give, let's say, -2, and print it. So this function is saying if any negative number is there, it will make absolute of it. Okay, that would be 2. Hmm? Let's say you have 5, the absolute value is 5, right? You have -10, it's going to be 10, correct? You have minus 0.9, it is going to be 0.9, right? So this is the absolute function. So math.f, you have to use f symbol to do these absolute function. Okay, now we'll go to next. You have, let's say, uh, you have some numbers in your column, right? And those numbers are, let's say, are positive numbers, and you want to give a particular sign. Let's say you want to make it those numbers negative. So what to do? You have math copy that sign. Let's say you have that column name, you can give, let's say, for example, 2, and I want to give it to 0 0.0 here. So I want to just utilize this negative sign and put it on in front of 2. Okay, so if I print x, it will be minus 2, you can see here. Okay, so here you can copy the sign of whatever you have here, right? So let's, you can use any number here, it's not like 0 0.1, you can use 1 also. Okay, that will also only copy the sign, don't copy the number. So this is only going to give a sign to this number. You can have any number here, let's say 4, and I want to give a sign to negative, you can give that. Okay, it's so simple. So you can use even 0 0.0. It will just copy the sign of this number to this number. Okay, so this is useful when you have column and you have some negative numbers and you want to give a sign to and you make it to positive. Okay, so that is there. So for example, you have negative 4 and then you have negative 0, you want to make it, so it will just take the sign. Okay, let me remove it, and now if I want to give it, it is take it 4. So it is taking this sign to this. Okay, no matter how much, let's say it's, I had a negative 4 here and here positive, so it is taking the positive. If I take it negative, it will take negative. So it doesn't depends on what you have here, it's plus 4 or minus 4, it is not going to worry about it. It is just going to take sign this and this number. So you have to be little careful while we choose this, because you need to understand, if you have 4 and you want to just copy the sign, you can just copy it. But if you have minus 4 and you want to copy the sign, it is going to take the negative. It is not going to have like negative and positive. Okay, that won't be happening here. Now you understood this, so let's jump on another is, let's say I have, you have heard about the factorial. Hmm? So factorial of 4 is what? Hmm? So you know the basic math. The factorial of 4 is like 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So if you see the print it is 24. 4 into 3, 12. 12 into 2 is 24. 24 into 1 is 1, 24, right? So you have factorial of 4 is this, factorial of 6 according to 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So it is going to give that number. Okay, factorial 2, 2 into 1, 2. Okay, that's a factorial. Now let's quickly jump on another function you have is, for example, let's say you want to import some function is, you want to have addition of something, right? So you can use f sum. You can have addition of, let's say, 1 plus 1 plus 1. You have to put these numbers in bracket like this. So if you put it and print that x, okay, so f sum of 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, that you can see here. Okay, that's great. Let me just remove it. Okay, let's keep it so that you can have a clue what is going on. You have to import this math library, so then only these all function. If you just remove it, okay, it will give error. Name math is not defined, right? Because you have not defined anything, so you have to define that I'm going to use this math library, then only these functions will work. Okay, fine. So let's jump on another one is, you have one function is called math dot power. Okay, so I want to do 2 to the power 5. So what is going to print? I think you guys can guess it. It is going to print 32. Am I right or not or wrong? Yes, correct. 2 to the power 5. Okay, that you used to write, right? Like it is 2, power, you have to give 5. Okay, that you used to give. Now I am going to use another function is, let's say you have, I want to give x is equal to math and give reminder, right? So in the reminder, let's say you want to divide 5 by 2. So remainder will be 1. Hmm? Simple. Okay, that you can see here. The remainder is 1. Okay. So if you if you want to, let's say you have a 10 here, what will remainder? 0. Okay, that is 0 printed over here. Okay, true. Okay, so now let's go to another function. Okay, so let's say you have some function is math dot com, and I have a com, let's say I want to do 3 comma 2. Okay, okay, print x. So what is going to print? Basically this function is com function, need to understand. So math dot com function is n comma k. So what it says that if 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 n is greater than k, if n is greater than k, then only this function will work. If n is less than k, this is going to be 0. So first, so this value is n, this value is k. Okay, so n is less than k. I said 0, so let's print this function. So this should, let me delete it just to avoid the confusion. Okay, so if n is, this is n is less than k, then going to be 0. Okay, if n is greater 3 comma 2, so if n is greater, then only this function is going to work. So it is going to print 3. Now we need to understand why it is printing 3. Okay, let me go to 6 comma 2. It is printing 15. What is this function is trying to do? So let me open some file for you so that I can, I can, so it's like you must have heard about, let me just explain it to you here. Let's say you have 1 plus x, then series and power n. So what is going to be output of this? 1 plus nx factorial 1. I'm going to type factorial 1 here like this. Then you have plus n minus 1, okay, and x square divided by factorial 2. Understand? Okay, so this is how it works, right? And then you have plus again, then n minus 1, n minus 2, factorial 3, x cube. So this is the function. Okay, so what it is so let me just convert it to 3. So what is trying to say, n is 3, k is 2. I want kth term. Kth is the second term. So first term is 0, this is 0th term, this is 1, okay, till here, and this is second term. So what it trying to say, if you have 1 plus x power n is here 3. So if I do this, so it will be 1, if I just change it to 3, it will be 1 plus 3x, correct? It will be like 3 minus 1 x square factorial 2. Okay, like this it will be here. Okay, so what this function is trying to say, I want kth term. Kth is the second term. So 0 1 2, this is the kth term, second term. So if, okay, so in this, when n is 3, what is the value of this kth term? So you can see kth term is 3 into 2, and you have factorial 2. So 3 into 2 is a 6, divided by 2 is equal to 3. So this function should print 3. Okay, correct. So this you can see it printed 3. So that's the value. Let's say you have You can try yourself, even you can, change it to, and just one condition you have to remember, that n should be greater than of k. Let's you have 4 here, 2. So if I have n4, so I can have n4 here. Just replace n with that 4. Hmm? So 4 into 3 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. So this is going to print 6, like this here. So that's a com function. You need to understand. You can try yourself different numbers. Only you have to remember that n should be always greater than of k. If n is less than of k, it is going to print 0. Let's see if I just swap that to, it is going to print 0. So you have to remember this function, how it is going to work. Okay, fine. Now let's go to another is you have modulus function. Let's say you have x is equal to math dot f mod. Some function you have to directly use, like let's say ceil function, floor function, without having this symbol f. For some you have to use f, right? So Factorial you can use directly, com you can use directly, absolute you have to use f abs, right? So here you have f mode, right? F mode you have, let's say 9 comma 2. So now you can see what the output of this is going to, and you have modulus of this. Okay, like you divide 9 by 2, so there will be a remaining is 1, right? That is you can print here, right? X you can print is 1, right? Now if you have 10, then it is going to be 0. Okay, I think we have explained this before. It's not, then it's okay. Now we are going to have one function is x is equal to math dot gcd. That is, let's say 3 comma 2, 5 1 2 2 3 comma 2. Okay, so the GCD meaning here is the greatest number that you have to see, which is dividing these two numbers. Okay, so let's say 3 and 2, what you can divide, what is the maximum number it can divide these both? It's going to 1, right? It's going to divide it. Let's say if I take it 4, what is the maximum number is going to divide is 2. 2 can divide this, 2 can divide 4, so it is going to print 2. Okay, like that. So if you have 4 here, you have 10, so only 2 can divide. 4 can't, so it is going to print 2. Okay, let's say if I change it to 8, which can divide greatest number here? 2 can divide 4 and 8. 4 can divide, so 4 is a greater than 2. Okay, then it will print 4. This function is for that. Now you have some simple function, let's say math dot is close, and let's say you have two number 2 comma 3, both are close or not, print accordingly, yes or no. Okay, it's like true and false.